Okay, thank you.
Oh, yes.
Mom, Dad's being weird again.
Luscious.
Honey,
So full.
it's just grass.
Oh, it's so much more than just grass. It's a healthier, greener, and more luscious lawn. Yours can be too.
Look at you.
With Kabursky Brothers Lawn Care.
Remember, no shoes on the lawn. Because you're so beautiful.
Call or click today.
Iowa Fireworks Farm is Iowa's largest fireworks store. 6,000 square feet of hand-picked fireworks, over 50 brands and 1,300 different products to choose from. But they're also family-owned and operated. Iowa Fireworks Farm is the one stop you need to make before July 4th. You'll find them just south of the Metro. Take I-35 to exit 43 at New Virginia. Head east and look for the Big Red Barn. At Iowa Fireworks Farm, the toughest part will be deciding what not to buy.
Fireworks Farm.
Join us for the Murph and Andy Patio Tour every Friday, continuing this week at Founders Irish Pub in Bondurant, right on the Chautauqua Valley Bike Trail, featuring great food, drinks, and a 3 o'clock happy hour every weekday. The party starts at 1 this Friday at Founders Irish Pub in Bondurant with Murph and Andy and Iowa Everywhere.
Murph and Andy, proudly presented by Ramsey Subaru, live and on demand across Iowa everywhere. From the Channel Seed Studios, this is Murph and Andy. Murph and Andy, connected by Cellular Advantage.
Let's start another week of Murph and Andy here on Iowa Everywhere. I do kind of miss being on the patio. You know, once you're out there with people and interacting and, feels a little lonely.
Yeah, I mean, those Fridays are addictive, aren't they?
Love it.
In so many respects. I mean, we had it going on Friday. We were out in the beautiful weather. We had a really big crowd of people around us. We had a whole bunch of friends and family, too, that we could have hung out with all day. And we had a lot of fun on the show. So, yeah, that's it. It's hard to say goodbye to that one. But we got another good week ahead, and we have another stop, as Andrew, you just heard Andrew's voice saying. Got another patio tour stop this coming Friday.
It feels like a Monday to me. I mean, I got up early. I have been so busy, and most of it hasn't been fun. Met with an attorney. Des Moines Christian joined the little Hawkeye conference. So I had a little news item there. Okay. Stopped by the dry cleaner. I mean, it's just, and one of the dogs is sick and just left a mud pie in the bathroom that was, first I mistook for a Reese's cup or peanut cluster.
I mean, if they make it all the way to the bathroom, couldn't they just get to the toilet?
If they had stairs maybe or something,
yeah,
I don't know.
Look into some, like a step stool or something. I know those dogs are kind of short.
We're going to look into it. Guest House Tavern and Oyster in West Des Moines sets the table for sports and more. Coming up, Escape from Alcaraz, Passive Haliburton, What's Bugging You? And this is all presented by Guest House Tavern and Oyster. Jenny and I went to dinner there Saturday night. We went back. This time we sat at the bar, and she ordered oysters. And as it might not surprise you, I did not. I got a hamburger.
I like sitting at the bar.
I do too. They have good chairs there, because any bar that has chairs without backs on them, I'm not a fan.
You're out.
They have good, comfy chairs there.
Yeah, I mean, there's action in front of you the whole time, and you're interacting with the bartender, and like people near you. You tend to talk to them. It's a social experience. It's like it's a different restaurant when you sit at the bar.
Yeah, and the young man in front of me who was shucking oysters, he played football at Dowling Catholic, but we watched him for a while. That is a tough job.
It is, and there's an art to it, and it's amazing to go to some place like, down on the coast somewhere where they go through just so many oysters. How quickly they do that, and you try to do that at home with a live oyster, one that's, I mean, you want it to be hard. If it's too easy to open, that thing is dead and it's gross.
You will be in the ER.
Well, you're not going to be in the ER, Murph. You're just going to have a bit of maybe. It just tastes gross. I mean, I've eaten plenty of dead oysters. They were fine. They just aren't as good. But yeah, they shuck those. They like just move in and out of those things. They somehow don't stab their hand.
He said he's got a few scars, from time to time. If
Takes
you're not
practice.
focused, not paying attention like anything else, you can pay the price. High or low since our last show?
Presented by Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
Yeah, people that feel smart about their retirement portfolios probably got started early. So it is not too early if you're somebody in your 20s to start saving for later, setting yourself up. And it's never too late either. He can always help you. Tim Hawkins and company up there at Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax. I'm going to go high. I think you know where I'm going here. I had over the weekend my daughter, Elin, who's 14, was in a play. Now, so let me preface this by saying, like many of you have daughters who idolized the Disney princesses when they were little. For Elin, I think that started when she might not have even been 2, but it didn't stop. She's probably 6 here in this picture, but she's at Disney World in Florida, and she's got the Belle from Beauty and the Beast dress on. She's holding the Belle from Beauty and the Beast doll.
Okay, so Belle is on her mind. She's thinking, one day I'll be up there.
Oh, yeah. She met Belle a number of times at Disney World and was just enchanted. This is what she really, really wanted. Now, she's a teenager now and she's moved on to other things, but I don't think you don't ever really lose the things that you cherished as a small child. And this weekend, she was in Stillwell Junior High School's production of Beauty and the Beast, and she was Belle.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really neat. And it was kind of an after school was over production where they, they had a really good turnout of kids that wanted to be a part of it, but they cranked all this out in 5 days worth of practice, 5 long days. But it was really impressive. The auditorium was packed. They had 2 shows and they were both full and standing room only. And, I'll have to admit that like a parent watching their kid in an athletic event, I was nervous as hell.
I'm sure.
Going in, I was sitting, we had really good seats. And there was no way to hide. And, her name is right there on the program. And
you're tall.
She's one of the few people in the world with this unfortunate last name. So I think people see me and they see that program. They're like, uh-oh, she's his. And so I'm like, oh man, come on. My stomach was full of butterflies, but she got rolling right away. And I thought she was great. And I was so proud. And I just knowing that this kind of fulfilled this early childhood dream of hers, and that she was so good and so happy and looked like she belonged so well. It really filled my heart with joy. So that was my high this weekend. I don't know that I'll have a better high the rest of this year.
Wow, that's a great high. And I would encourage anybody who hasn't seen it that's interested. What's Bugging Andy is about learning lessons as a parent about what you want for your kids. And sometimes your dreams don't always match their dreams or what you would like them to be. Maybe it's an athlete and they turn out to be somebody who wants to be in theater, and it's very good. You can find it at who13.com, but it's on all the platforms. You just have to click a couple of times.
Yeah, it was fun. She watched that this morning. I texted to say, hey, is everybody watching last night?
Did she like it, or did she make it? Because you're still dad. Oh, dad. Did she like it?
She liked it. Yeah, she told me she liked it. Yeah, she tells me when she doesn't like stuff. So she doesn't. Nobody has a problem being real honest with Dad and his What's Bugging Andy segments around here. But she did not watch it live. Everybody had gone to bed, but it was a long weekend. She got up this morning though and watched it, and that made me feel happy.
I had a weekend full of highs, but I'm going to pick a low here just because I saw it again last night. Our old dog Tina, who's on the left, Teeny is on the right. They're both rescue dogs. And Tina is just getting so old. She's 16 and she's reached that stage where she can no longer do the hops up to the bed, or sometimes she's starting to fall down the stairs a little bit. And Chris Williams' wife, Ashley, has looked at her lately and she's okay. But just that you start to see the paw on the Rainbow Bridge and it makes you kind of sad. She's, I think, 16 now. and she was rescued from a hoarder. The lady turned herself in. She had like 30 or 40 dog cages in her house, and just finally turned herself in like, I clearly have a problem. But there were all these dogs. So Tina wasn't really social at first because she had never been around people. And over the years, she always loved Jenny, and she got to love the rest of the family. She was never mean. She was just really scared all the time. And now, even now around strangers, she's just a little bit scared because some of these backstories on rescue dogs are dark, and the dogs always have it in the back of their mind somewhere. But she has been such a wonderful dog, and we hope that it will continue for a while here. Of course, Jenny has already ordered steps. So steps are coming, dog steps.
Yeah.
So that Tina
up to
can
the
get
couch, up to the bed.
Yeah. The steps have been ordered.
Yeah, we have some of those at our house. Yeah, it's Bernard. His legs are too short. He can't get up on the bed.
Yeah, hers. Tina's are weakening, but yes, dogs are the best. I wish they lived longer. That's I think many people.
George Carlin was a fan of saying that was one of the good things about dogs is that they don't live too long.
Really? What's the angle for that? Because I could use it. Or did he just not like dogs? Was he like,
no,
AD?
he loved his dogs. Yeah, he loved his dogs. He was, he's like, life is a series of dogs. He used to say, and you can
mark
have
your life by the dogs.
Yeah, you can have a whole bunch of different dogs in your life. And, some of them are great and some of them are just, good. And if you've got one that's just good, maybe it's okay to graduate onto one that's great. But I don't know. I mean, I do miss every dog that I've lost, but at the same time, I mean, you're reminded that you don't have a whole lot of time with them, so you want to make the time count.
Interact on YouTube, on X. It's Murph_Andy. You can email Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com. You'll want to remember that address if you're a big movie fan. More on that coming up from the Palms. It's all powered by the Cellular Advantage, proudly representing U.S. Cellular since 1993 with 35 regional locations. Let's get the buzz.
The Buzz. Brought to you by Logier Heating and Cooling.
Probably actually not much buzz about this around here today, but if at some point you tuned in or somebody told you, hey, you might want to check out the men's French Open final, it was a reminder of how riveting tennis can be. Even when there's not an American playing, or maybe you don't know Yannick Sinner that well, or even Carlos Alcaraz, who is clearly the next is now a great tennis player. But Andy, this took 5.5 hours, longest French Open ever. Alcaraz was down 2-0 and faced 3 championship points and won his 5th Grand Slam at age 22.
That's incredible. And, if you did watch some of this, it probably didn't take too much to remind you of the fact that, once again, we said this a few weeks ago, sometimes the competition is enough. It doesn't matter if the athletes aren't household names to you, or even that the event is the biggest event in your mind, or something that's really important to you to watch each year. Sometimes the competition's enough, and you tune in and you watch a match like this. It'll put the hook in you and you can still have a really good time. Sometimes it's just about the actual competition going on, and the names and the circumstance don't matter as much.
The last American male to win the French Open was Andre Agassi back in 1999. But
it's because Nadal has won every one since then, it seems like.
What did he win, like 12 or 13 in a row at some point?
So dominant there.
Coco Gauff did win the women's French Open final. She is an American from Georgia. She's the first American woman to win in 10 years. It had been that long since a Williams sister, of course.
Yeah, I was going to go with a Williams sister.
You'd be
French. I will say this. I mean, I love this about tennis, is that you have these weird surfaces that pop up from time to time. I mean, you grow up just with hard court surfaces around you, whether you play tennis or not. Those are the only ones you ever see. And then all of a sudden you get old enough to be aware of Wimbledon. You're like, what they're playing that on grass? What? How do you play tennis? The ball doesn't even bounce on the grass. How does that happen? You go out and try to play tennis on your lawn. That doesn't work. But somehow they do that on grass, so it's a little interesting. And then all of a sudden you get used to that, and you're like, whoa, they're playing on dirt?
Right.
At Roland Garros, they're playing on, and they're like, no, it's clay. You're like, all right. That
It's
looks
crushed bricks. I've seen them do the process.
Yeah.
It's
You're
crazy.
like, it looks like dirt to me, but that's really, but that's cool though. Like the slides and the way that the ball slows down or just bounces differently. It's cool that they have those, different wrinkles thrown in there, right? I mean, it makes the sport more interesting.
The Thunder predictably crushed the Pacers in game 2. This was one of those games where it's not probably going to have more people watching than game 1, partly because you just assumed the Thunder were going to respond and answer at home where they're usually so good, and they had lost game 1. It went by script. The Pacers lose by 16. It didn't even seem that close. Tyrese Haliburton, former Cyclone, had 17 points, but only 5 through 3 quarters when it actually mattered. And if we're being honest, and we all need to be, right, that game 1 winner, which is not a small thing, we get that. We're seeing the greatest clutch shooting we've ever seen from one player in one playoffs, but it's kind of been a deodorant for how he's playing in this final so far. Through 2 games, he really hasn't done much, and for a guy we're talking about as a potential superstar, he's really passive. Like he has got to, I know the Thunder have great defense, but he's got to be more aggressive. He's got to shoot more. He's got to get to the paint more. He's got to make things happen, because it's easy to overlook that in game 1, he was mostly quiet until the moment.
Well, we got a reminder last night. We saw it through most of the game in game 1. That, I mean, the Thunder. This is a great team. This team
Right.
has 6 games at home the entire season, 14 overall the whole season. They were way better than the Pacers this year, record wise, and they were great. And if somehow the Pacers are going to win this series, it's just going to take some monumental efforts from all of the Pacers, but especially Tyrese Haliburton. They're going to have to bring it game in and game out. It's probably not going to happen, but the fact that they are tied 1-1 now is still impressive, even though they, kind of, I guess, laid an egg in game number 2. But you like a series like this, but it does swing that pendulum back and forth, right? I mean, you're just like, oh God, can the Thunder recover from that? It was so disappointing. It was such a crash landing. But yeah, they can recover from it. And now everybody's thinking, can the Pacers recover?
Game 3 Wednesday. Pacers still have home court advantage, but it hasn't, even after game 1, it didn't feel to me like this is something the Pacers will end up winning, but maybe they will. You remember this in-season tournament? I know AD does. I think he does, because the NBA has an in-season tournament that the Lakers won one year.
Yeah, they got a banner hanging in Staples
That's
Center.
right. They have a banner hanging for this in-season tournament. Well, when the NBA plays these in-season tournaments, they go to those crazy courts, that look like they're from a video game. So after game 1 of the NBA Finals, and the court was just as plain as it could be, there's actually quite a bit of social media noise about this. This doesn't look like the finals. Where's the usual stuff that they put on there to make you feel like this is a special game? This is a big game. Well, they did hear the noise. So last night they digitally added these Larry O'Brien trophies. These aren't actually on the court. They're superimposed, like Ed standing in front of a weather screen. It was stupid. It didn't work. And then people complained about these, I think, more than they did about the lack of signage.
Well, because they weren't wanting this, right? This is not what they were complaining about. They wanted the whole surface to be different. This looks
bad.
It does. I mean, it looks like they tacked it on.
Yep.
It looks like it's been, some old man who didn't really know very much about the program was the one that went ahead and digitally imposed those. It looks cheap. It
doesn't look great. Now the NBA said, Commissioner Silver said,
that it does look like golden schlongs. Tim is right, like that. Yeah, I mean, you can't not look at those and be like, a little less phallus. Please. Look at that. Yeah, pop up here. There they are.
The NBA said that the players didn't like the logos put on there, superimposed on there, or actually, decals put on the floor. They said they found them slippery, but they were there for like 25 years. How slippery can they be? I don't know. We have a quickie poll from WCI Pools and Spas in Ames and Urbandale, and it's going to get us into today's first contest where our listeners and followers win.
Which actual fireworks name do you like the most?
Of these
Nuts,
choices.
Yeah,
Okay.
D's Nuts, Nice Rack, Weed the People, or Neighbor's Nightmare. I think Wade brought all of these over to the...
Wade brought all these to either or Friday.
He did. I'll go first here. They're all funny. The Nice Rack, like, make sure that it's got a big decal of a deer on it, so it kind of takes away from it. I wish they hadn't done that. Which is fine because I'm going to burn the entire thing to the ground anyway. There won't be anything left. It's Neighbor's Nightmare for me. I mean, let's cut to the chase. What is it really? Weed the People is funny, and you see the weed, the marijuana leaf on it, but it doesn't really make any sense when you talk about fireworks.
It did make me laugh when I saw Weed the People.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, but Neighbor's Nightmare cuts right to the chase. And I know that's what it's going to be in my neighborhood because the old Karen down the street going to hear that and going to come running.
Weed the People was the one that made me laugh the most on Friday, so I'll go with that.
I'm going with my old standby, D's Nuts. Just something that's so stupid. And I believe, did he run for president or Senate or something? He was from Iowa, right? Candidate D's Nuts?
Yes.
I mean,
the third party. Yeah.
And it's like the one thing that showed you, oh, Nick Saban does have a sense of humor. Like, he thinks D's Nuts is so funny that he sprinkles it into practices, or he did when he was coaching Alabama. We're giving away a $100 gift card to Iowa Fireworks Farm, which is located near New Virginia. It's right off the highway. You've seen the ads here on Iowa Everywhere. So a $100 gift card to Iowa Fireworks Farm. AD, how do people enter the contest before Andy test my knowledge on names of fireworks?
Yeah, you just have to comment wherever you're watching this right now. Comment #Iowa Fireworks Farm, and you're automatically entered. So I'm going to put a little comment down there right now so that everybody can kind of see what to do. But yeah, you just, wherever you are, just comment right now, #Iowa Fireworks Farm, and you're automatically entered.
Have you ever noticed when one of us comments, it blanket comments everyone? Like, just then you put that in, nobody's going to miss it. Iowa Everywhere, Keith Murphy. Iowa Everywhere again on a different platform, Andy Fales. Yeah, Iowa Everywhere is Iowa Everywhere. So #Iowa Fireworks Farm, and
don't play if you're not going to go down there and claim this $100 gift card. Okay,
that's a nice prize.
That's a really nice prize.
$100.
$100 in fireworks. That's a lot of fireworks. Now you're going to want to buy more than that because that place is literally a barn full of fireworks.
Literally,
I mean,
big red barn. Can't miss
it. Huge place. And I mean, you want to talk about impulse buys. You get up to the register, you're like, oh yeah, I got to have the Pyro Viagra. Pyro Viagra. You see that?
Freudian slip.
You want to talk about impulse buys? I don't think there's a place that has more than the Iowa Fireworks Farm. All right,
Iowa Fireworks Farm, the hashtag to enter. AD, are you going to pick somebody at the end of the show or right now?
At the end of the show.
Yep. Okay, end of the show, AD will pick our winner based on the hashtag Iowa Fireworks Farm. And whoever AD picks is going to win. But to get us there, Andy is going to, Andy, name the one actual firework and one that you've made up, and I have to guess which is the real firework.
Which one is real? Yeah. Okay. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Big blue balls or toxic meltdown. Which one is real?
Wow. That's well done by you. I think big blue balls is a real firework.
Damn, right out of the gate. Jeez,
all right.
That was tough. I mean, toxic meltdown absolutely sounds like something that you would find at the Iowa Fireworks Farm. The big box and everything, but no, it's big blue balls right there.
And by the time we get to Independence Day, July 4th, there will be a time where the one you've made up is actually a firework at the Iowa Fireworks Farm, but unbeknownst to you.
There will, yeah.
That will happen.
Who just commented, it's odd that there are 3 of them. Yeah, right. I mean, there should at least be, they should come in even numbers, right?
Yeah. Or like the Lance Armstrong, just one.
Or you want to do one more just for fun?
Yeah, let's do one more for fun if you have
All right,
one.
tell me which one is real, Murph.
Okay.
Chinese takeout or Vietnamese hooker?
One of those is real?
Yeah.
Chinese takeout is real.
Look at that. Looks like a takeout, doesn't it?
It does. Jeez. Wow. Okay.
If you get real Chinese takeout and it tastes like fireworks, don't eat
Get a
the rest of it.
refund.
All right. Yeah.
Keep the receipt.
You're good. I got to step it up a notch.
All right, more hot topics. The Belmont Stakes match race between Kentucky Derby in the mud winner Sovereignty and Preakness winner Journalism. I thought Journalism was going to win this race. It does come down to these two. Here's the call.
Journalism makes a decisive move with a quarter of a mile to go, and he takes command of the Belmont Stakes. Sovereignty angles out to try and run him down. It's a rematch of the Kentucky Derby as they come to the 8th bull, and here comes Sovereignty. Sovereignty goes right by Journalism once again, leaving absolutely no doubt who the best 3-year-old in the world is. Sovereignty and Junior Alvarado in the Belmont Stakes.
It's a great race, and I picked the wrong horse. I mean, I thought Journalism would win. I was crediting Sovereignty's win in the Derby to the conditions more than the horse. And now, Andy, it makes me wish Sovereignty had run in the Preakness so we could see, was this a Triple Crown horse?
Yeah, I mean, either way, you were going to be left wishing you had something that we didn't have, either a dry track at Churchill Downs or Sovereignty running in the Preakness. So this is interesting. This was another really good race. It feels weird as it opens up because it's not at Belmont. It's at Saratoga because Belmont is being renovated. It was there last year and it's there this year, and Belmont is supposed to be ready for the Belmont Stakes again by this time next year. But it's at Saratoga, so it just doesn't quite feel right. Like the crowd isn't as big. You just it doesn't seem right. But it's a really good race. And you know, they're down that final turn. It sets up, you got Journalism with the lead, and then Sovereignty really hawks them down. But again, this is supposed to be a 1.5 miles at Belmont. I mean, it's by far the longest of the 3 Triple Crown races. But since it's at Saratoga, it's not 1.5 miles, it's 1.25 miles, which is the same length as the Kentucky Derby. So what would have happened in that final quarter mile? I mean, probably Sovereignty just hangs on, maybe even adds a little bit to it, but you don't know. I mean, Journalism is still running hard at that point, and you just, you know, at that point he just knows he doesn't have enough track left, so he's kind of like his jockey's like, all right, we lost this race. Maybe it's different if this is at Belmont, and you do have that much more space. Maybe Journalism runs a different race altogether, and we see something different. And you also have to keep saying to yourself, Journalism ran one more race.
True. Yeah.
Just 2
Had
weeks
an extra
ago.
week.
Yeah. And he
what-
ran one more race. Sovereignty's been resting up for this one. So did we
Stretching
really?
out.
Yeah. Is he really the best host? It was just a ripoff. I mean, the
Horse
fact
racing novice question. Maybe you would know the answer to this. Why couldn't they just move the finish line another quarter mile? I mean, I know that would take them back around another corner. Maybe you can't. Why couldn't they move the starting gate back a little? I guess you can't start on a corner. I don't know.
I mean, you have to have it on the straightaway, and you have to have you've got to have enough room for the horse to de-accelerate after the finish line, I would assume. I don't know enough about it either to say definitively, but that would be my guess, is that just the overall track isn't large enough. Yeah, I mean, they start way down. They typically start there at the top of the home stretch, and then they come all the way around a little bit longer and then finish right in front of the meat of the crowd. But I don't know exactly what Saratoga's the length of the oval is from finish line all the way around and back to the finish line again. So I don't know the answer to that. There's probably people out there that can answer that immediately. That'll jump onto the comments and let us know, but it's at a different track. It's a different situation. It just, it just made you wish that these two would have matched up in a different year.
Really
right?
does.
In a different situation where I don't know if that would have made Sovereignty run in the Preakness or not, but I mean, what a bummer. I mean, we clearly had two horses that were head and shoulders above the rest of the pack. And you'd think that bodes really well for the Triple Crown, and we didn't get to see it the way we wanted to see it this year.
No, we did not. We won't do a deep dive on the house settlement that happened since our last show Friday. And two guys got into this, Chris and Chris, today. Encourage you to watch.
I need to watch the rest of that because those guys are way ahead of me, and
they do a good job with it. And I think Chris Williams is doing the CW pod on this topic for even more clarity for those who are interested. But
John Sears did a nice thing on it last night on Sound Off as well, and you just kind of feel like this is not ultimately going to be a good thing.
No, Iowa today put out multiple releases across all sports. The University of Iowa about being ready for this new day. Beginning July 1st, Iowa will begin the distribution of $20.5 million in the 10-year settlement. The bulk of that everywhere where there's a football program, estimated 75 to 85% will go to football. It's the cash cow. It's the moneymaker. Men's basketball will then get most of whatever's left over, 10 to 20%, depending where you are. And then it's a fight between all the other sports for what is left. And some people are still surprised to hear this. At almost all big schools, the only moneymakers are football, the big moneymaker. Men's basketball makes some revenue. Women's basketball at most places still loses millions of dollars. So the money is going to go to football and men's basketball. And when you hear that, you immediately think, okay, how many lawsuits are coming? How many Title IX lawsuits? How many? I mean, this
lawsuits
get ready
from other male sports.
Exactly. It's going to be, and it's a 10-year deal, but it sounds like legal problem. Now you do have the NIL Go, but what a mess that's going to be too. It's basically a clearinghouse to approve that your NIL is legit. It has to be approved. Like say, when Caitlin Clark was at Iowa her senior year, if she get State Farm, she's doing commercials for State Farm, that would go into the clearinghouse. They would say, that's fine. That's true NIL. You are approved for whatever the amount is. But this is where it really sounds like, oh, good luck keeping up with hundreds of colleges and thousands of athletes. How are you going to prevent under the table money and cheating from going right back to where it was at one point? This does not sound great.
You got to build your own IRS here, pay out a whole bunch of money to people to go out and police this kind of stuff.
It does sound like a mess. Tegan Cavan led Texas to its first World Series national championship in softball. Cavan is from Dowling Catholic. She's a Dowling Catholic alumna. She's from the Metro. But she did not ever pitch for Dowling Catholic, which is kind of fascinating and also somewhat understandable. She wanted to pitch against more elite level competition than she would have faced in high school. So she was on the travel teams that do go out and play those games. But although I completely understand Dowling Catholic and all Tegan Cavan's friends being really proud of her, and she was the outstanding player of the World Series, it does hit differently for me that she never played for her local high school, as far as this being a big Iowa story.
It does for me too. I don't know enough about the situation with her, certainly with her family or with Dowling or whatever. This does happen.
Yeah, and we have summer softball, which makes it more challenging to
Yeah.
do both the travel teams and the high school softball team. I do get that.
Yeah, so I don't want to try to judge this or something, but I knew people in high school. I went to school with the best swimmer at my high school, a girl.
Andy Fales?
No, not even close.
Oh.
It was a girl. I mean, she was a phenomenal swimmer. She did not swim for our high school swim team. She was on her, and this back in the 80s. So,
Wow.
she was way ahead of this kind of thing, but she went to Vanderbilt on a swimming scholarship. She wasn't an Olympian or anything, but, got a swimming scholarship. She still was very active at school. She was a cheerleader. She did, I don't know if she did any, I don't think she did any other sports, but she was really active. She was on the newspaper. She was a brilliant student. I ended up being a lawyer. So, when it all, shakes out, she's no less a part of our high school community than anybody else. But that is the first thing that I think when I think of somebody that, is a standout athlete who doesn't play for your high school team. I think, what's that like when you come back? I mean, and for a private school like Dowling, it's already kind of that way. I mean, you come back to you go back to Dowling, you go back to a building. If you go to Valley, you come back to the West Des Moines community. It's just different. But if you didn't even play sports there, then it's not like you're even going back to your old field or something. It just seems like there's less to return to, but I could be completely wrong about that, and it's not my business anyway. So,
and it's made more complicated by summer. We're the only state that does the summer softball. And by the way, the players on the softball and baseball teams aren't even in school as they're playing because they're out for the summer. And I know for different reasons that challenges people. In some cases, it's summer jobs. Some it's travel, some it is wanting to be on these travel teams. But congratulations to Dowling Catholic alum Tegan Cavan. Can you believe we have another contest? We're giving away more cool stuff. You ready for this?
I'm not sure.
Here we go. All right, so the F1 movie starring Brad Pitt is
like
coming.
Somebody letting air out of a balloon.
Let's hear it again.
That's how fast those engines go.
They do go. This is coming to the IMAX at Palms. The early buzz is fantastic. This is from the creator of Maverick. So the Iowa premiere is January 25th on the IMAX screen, and we have exclusive tickets. So if you want to enter the draw for 2 tickets, we'll give away 4 pairs of 2 tickets Thursday. You just need to email Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com. You don't have to send a letter or testimonial or, tell Andy how much you enjoy the show. Don't have to do any of that. Just put F1 in the subject line and AD will pick it out. And as usual, let's just put the pressure on him to pick the winners.
Oh, awesome.
I don't want this.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, let him do that.
I'm excited. This is going to be a lot of fun. I've already got my ticket booked.
You're going.
Yeah.
All right, you're going.
Awesome.
I have to work that night, man. I really would like to see this. I'm going to predict, though, that the Reverend Ray Green has the best experience watching this at the IMAX.
I have to work that night, too, so I have to decide whether to take a personal day. I mean, I'm assuming I'm still working. I have to take a personal day or a vacation day or something like that to go to this movie. I think you got to
figure that out, Murph. You got to go. Don't tell me about it, though, because I don't want to take any shit.
I'd really like to see it. And now, here's what's bugging you.
Hi, this is Jake from Fort Dodge. I just got done at the dentist, and I just want everyone to be aware. This is like a PSA. Brush your teeth, kids. It's not fun getting dental work done. But I had a filling that fell out, and this is it being replaced. It's just not fun. Anyway, that's all I had. I hope you guys have a good day. I hope the weather's nice tomorrow for your patio tour. Anyway, take care. Bye-bye.
Hey, Murph and Andy. This is Eric Adam from Clive. What's bugging me is Scott Sipker's god-awful parenting advice. It's obvious that fool is not a father. Please ask him to stop.
Hey guys, it's Mike over here in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I've got friends from Iowa, and they send me your little clips, and you're making fun of Nebraska, and we haven't won anything since the 90s, and we haven't won anything since before the internet was invented, and we don't have internet at all, and enough's enough, okay? I get it. We're not very good. We haven't been very good, but geez, can you just lay off us a little bit?
Talk about ancient history. This is a Nebraska fan back when they were actually good at football.
Oh, nice.
Pretty funny.
SpeakPipe.com hashtag Murph and Andy. That's really well done, AD. I'm a fan of What's Bugging You. Let's keep this going.
Yeah,
How can people leave you a message?
Yeah, speakpipe.com/Murph_Andy. It's on our social medias. I just put it in the comments from all of us, apparently. And yeah, it's super easy. You push a button on your phone, just start recording, leave your name and where you're from, and rant. If you want to swear, go ahead. I can bleep that out. That's what I do best. And yeah, we'll have some fun with it every week.
It's fun, and it's produced really well. Thank you. I can see the work you put into that, AD. Good messages too. Confluence is the official beer of Murph and Andy. Big weekend for Confluence. It was the release of Old Tavern. We had some on the patio over at Either Or Friday. I had another one this weekend. It was good over at Good Sons. They were everywhere you go. They're serving this is wide distribution for the Old Tavern.
Yeah, I got a 12-pack of that, and I'm down to like one beer. You
didn't get it this morning, though.
No, I got it last week. Like on Wednesday? It's almost gone, though. Yeah, no, we enjoyed it. Yeah, but everybody loves the label. It's gonna make some good shirts. Confluence always has good merch, good gear. That'll look good over there. Congratulations, John. This looks like a winner.
Did a nice job in AD and AKC marketing. They do the Iowa Everywhere merch store at iowaeverywhere.com. Did the Old Tavern merch.
Oh, yeah. And look at Chris drank 10 this weekend.
10 Old Taverns. Okay.
Probably in one sitting.
Without further ado, let's get some more.
But wait, there's more. From Either Or Eatery and Patio.
Oh, yeah, Either Or. Let's roll the video from this past Friday. What a good time we had on the patio tour. Hey, welcome to Murph and Andy here at Either Or on the 2025 patio tour.
This is one of the patios that we had in mind when we came up with the idea for the patio tour. This is one of the best in the whole state. I think those rankings are official, too. That's Scott Sipker.
Don't turn his mic on.
No, we're not.
The 80s over there into the climbing kites.
See, my son is sitting right there, and he usually gets me beers at home. I don't think he's allowed to do that at the restaurant.
Yeah, that hamburger looks good.
Cheers. How's that water going?
Well, yeah, going pretty good. I think it's a good idea. Happy hour later.
Ooh, that's nice.
Andy, we have a special guest, Wade Peterson from the Iowa Fireworks Farm, quickly identifiable from his coat.
So it looks like he brought some stuff with us. This is called, everybody like this one? Weed the People.
Weed the People.
An exclusive to the Fireworks Farm this year.
We're lighting this thing off right in our neighborhood. It's called Your Neighbor's Nightmare. Whitney Seelix joins us now from Either Or.
This is such a perfect day for just a patio event like this. Thank you for having us here and just for being with us and helping promote the More segment. We come here all the time, and we're happy we're here.
Oh, we appreciate it. I love you guys.
Oh, yeah, really good time there. And Wade Peterson is in the comments from Iowa Fireworks Farm. He says, Weed the People was the biggest seller this past weekend.
We'll take credit for that, even if we don't deserve it. Yeah, that was a really fun stop. From the Des Moines Register, removal of Wells Fargo's name from the Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines will begin soon as the facility prepares to become Casey's Center beginning July 1st. There will be new signage, but some of the less obvious details about what will be different about the arena once it becomes the Casey Center have also been leaked, and they include whether you've purchased a ticket to an event there or not, you can come in and use the bathroom, which will now be equipped with condom machines on the wall. Those visitors to the Casey Center will be able to ask arena employees for directions to nearby towns, schools, landmarks, and all employees will be required to take and pass a topography course so that they can be good at giving those directions. And along with pretzels and hot dogs, the concession stands will also sell cigarettes, chewing tobacco, scratch-off tickets, and vape juice.
Scratch-off tickets seem like a great idea for the concession stands.
Hey, it's a Casey's Center.
Yeah.
It's gonna. They want it to feel like a Casey's.
Right.
They're going the extra mile.
You just showed the way to do it, even though none of that was true.
The Transportation Security Administration, or TSA, is asking travelers to stop trying to use their Costco membership cards as identification for flights.
Come on.
In a clear message posted on Facebook, the TSA explained that Costco cards are not acceptable as forms of real ID. You're not talking about real ID, the Gold Star ID. It's now required for domestic air traveler. Some travelers keep showing up with store cards, like the Costco card that has a Gold Star on it, thinking that they'll work.
This seems like it is a hoax. People are really going up to TSA with a Costco wholesale Gold Star member card, expecting that to work.
The TSA from time to time will have a sense of humor, kind of when they put out the annual list of all the crazy shit that they, took from people who thought that they could bring a javelin onto the,
I appreciate
the
that they do that.
Yeah. But other than that, they don't fool around a whole lot. I think this is actually happening. My question is, are these people, do they really think that this is the equivalent? Because it's got a Gold Star on it. They said Gold Star, so here you go. Or are they just caught off guard and they're like, they're just like, all right, look, if I really lean into this and try to sell it, that maybe they'll laugh and they'll let me through.
Or is it trolling the whole thing? Just like, you said Gold Star, here you go. Just expecting the reaction, and then they actually have a Gold Star license? I don't know, man.
Yeah, maybe. Although, again, the TSA guys are not the ones to joke around with.
No.
No, you don't do. I think maybe people are just that dumb.
And they're out there walking amongst us, so keep that in mind.
Yeah. Right.
What was it George Carlin said once? Picture the average person, and half the people are more stupid than that person.
Stupider than they are. Yeah, right, exactly, yeah. From the bowels of Instagram, we bring you this. Miss Teen USA. Sometimes you take the stage, and sometimes the stage takes you.
Oh, no.
Oh,
wow.
Here we go. One more time. Just got the strut going there.
Oh gosh. Oh, back up, though. She's okay.
I'm okay. Yeah,
She's okay.
Meant to do that.
And
apparently
likable for getting right back up.
Apparently there were several contestants that did that. It does look a little... I mean, they have it highlighted in gold there on the edge, but they're not... Jeez. Just falls off the stage.
I'm glad she's okay.
Yes,
jeez.
A Walmart shopper in Arizona called the police after a self-checkout machine charged him over $1,300 for 9 avocados when he accidentally entered that he was buying 999 of them instead of 9.
And it still did the math. It's a machine. Yeah.
The man reportedly started screaming that Walmart was trying to rob him, and he dialed 911. So the cops showed up. And though the Walmart workers corrected the mistake on the register, he continued screaming at them and at the police to the point that the police actually wound up cuffing him and dragging him outside.
And by this time, he must have been told, sir, the reason for this charge is instead of entering 9, you entered 999. The mistake is actually yours, sir.
Yeah, you fat-fingered the touchscreen. That's what happened.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I caused not this guy.
We corrected it for you. I was waiting for there to be some revelation at the end of the story, like, meth or he was drunk. But no, apparently this person was actually sober.
What state did you say on that?
Arizona.
That was Arizona.
Not Florida. Yep, not Florida.
That's an upset.
From Talker, we'll end with this. The top little things that stress people out the most these days. The number one stressor is when they see someone that they don't want to talk to.
Really? That's the number one stressor. You're having a good life.
Yeah, right. Yeah. These are life's little moments things. These are not, a tornado hits your house.
How am I going to pay the bill?
Yeah, that kind of thing. But 46% all come out with that thing. But these are people like you're walking somewhere where there's no escape route, and you see this person, and you're like, oh, here comes so-and-so. I'm going to have to, they've already seen me. All right. Yeah, here we go. A knock on the front door when they're not prepared for guests.
Even if it's not somebody who wants to be a guest, but they're selling something or...
Anybody have anybody like this in their family? I do.
A drop-in? Just a person who drops in without invitation?
No. I'm sorry. I would be the dropper-inner here, but I have a cousin and an aunt who will not answer. Like, I've gone to the door. I was in from out of town. I love them. I want to see them. I haven't seen them in a while, so I'm like, I'm gonna go see what Aunt so-and-so is doing. Knock on the door. I know she's in there. She doesn't answer the door. Her dogs are barking like I can tell her car's in the driveway. Doesn't answer the door. Got a cousin. Did the same thing to me. I walk up to the door. I can hear him vacuuming in there. I know he's in there. I see the vacuum.
Now you're a little offended. Like, hey, he really doesn't want to see me.
Yeah, I'm like, well, it's me. I'm not bugging him. I don't come by all the time.
Yeah, any heads up? Do you, like Chris is asking, any heads up here? Did you text? Did you say I might drop by sometime?
I just dropped by, and my parents were kind of, well, you're dropping in. But I was like, so what? It's you.
Be happy to see me.
Why wouldn't they be happy to see me? Is it me? It's them, right?
Well, maybe later they watched you on their Ring camera and just thought, it's good to see Andy.
More annoying people who talk to you when you just want silence. Yeah. When your Wi-Fi is lagging or cuts out, boy, is that a first world problem. Listening to someone chew loudly. This drives Hassel nuts at work. Somebody eats an apple near him.
I do this from time to time and
jump off a bridge.
I become aware immediately because I catch the stare. It's like
somebody nearby with heavy breathing.
Ooh.
Especially the whistle nose.
That's an exhale.
Your alarm clock, text message alerts, and their phone notifications going off during a meeting. That's the list of annoyances. And that's your more, everybody.
All right. Nicely done, Andy. It is time for Throwdowns.
Throwdowns. It's Throwdowns. Backed by Heartland Tire and Auto.
Heartland Tire and Auto, treating you like family in Ankeny, Waukee, Knoxville, Boone, and Crescent, an authorized dealer of both Firestone and Bridgestone tires. Murph, two guys debated this on the show this morning. It depends on each person's definition of the word, but do you consider Tyrese Haliburton a superstar?
I have said that he's moving into that landscape. I think I'm probably in the moment a little bit too much. Watching last night makes me realize that we're in Iowa where we're surrounded by Cyclone fans who are understandably really proud of him. I think on a national level, he has not moved into superstar status yet. I think if he leads them to an upset championship over Thunder, he's there. He's got everything going for him. He's likable. He's the most clutch player in the NBA right now. He's got a gold medal. There's just so many reasons for him to be one of the main faces of the NBA. But he's got to be more assertive. In 2 games, other than that final shot, he has mostly been a no-show to these finals.
It's funny how our pendulums swing back and forth during a one series, right? I mean, he's there. Oh, no, he's not there. I didn't say
Monday overreaction.
I said he might be there. I don't know. He's there. I didn't say he was on his way. He's there.
It was you that said that.
Yeah. I mean, but, that's what happens. And he, one game looks like he's on his way. Will he get all the way there? seems like it. It does seem like he's going to get there, but at this point, I mean, he's still just kind of on that path, on that trajectory. But I don't know. I mean, does he walk down the street and everybody recognizes him?
In Indianapolis, for absolute sure. But so here's the question: like, how many generally, when you think of superstars in, say, the NBA, superstars in the NFL, what's your size that you have in your head? Are you talking about a handful, or are you talking about there are 10 or 20 superstars?
I think there's a handful of superstars.
5, maybe 10. You might be able to push it that far, but it's a handful.
They're guys like when their number pops on the screen, you think of them, that kind of stuff. I mean,
Steph Curry's a superstar. LeBron James is a superstar.
There should be rare air for superstars, because where do you go from there? You can't go up.
All right, Andy, bear with me here. A guy placed a $13 parlay on a bunch of championships in different sports. He's now down to 2 legs, the final 2 legs, the NBA and the NHL, where he has the Thunder and the Oilers.
Ooh.
If he wins, if both of those teams win the championship, he gets $270,000. But there is a cash out option for right around $100,000. If you're him, you're holding this ticket. Do you cash out or do you let it ride?
By the way, this is why so many young people gamble these never hit parlays.
He picked the Dodgers, the Liberty, the Eagles, the Thunder, and the Oilers.
I mean, this
all
happens
win.
so rarely, but you could feel people seeing this. My kid's going, "Oh yeah, can't win unless you."
And I mean,
bet.
he's picking a bunch of favorites, right? I mean, he's picking a bunch of good teams here.
But they all have to come in.
I know
This comes down to the Stanley Cup, doesn't it? Because I mean, it'd be a big upset if the Pacers do manage to beat the Thunder. So, do you have enough faith in the Oilers?
2 games to. Oh man,
Oof.
As his dad, I say you cash it out right now, and then you set yourself up. And you call Tim Hawkins, but I don't know, man. I mean, this is free money. Let it ride. I don't care if this kid wins or not. I tell him, let it ride. If I'm his dad, I'm cashing it out. I'm taking
all of our comments are saying cash out.
I'm the same. Since this isn't my kid and I'm not his dad, ride it out, be more fun for everyone. But if it's my kid or my wife or me, I'm cashing out because I don't have enough certainty the Oilers are going to win. I feel like the Thunder will win, but man, $100,000 to cash out. Wow.
It's not bad on a $13 bet.
Woo.
You kick yourself forever probably if it does come through and you gave up $150,000 just because you didn't have the balls to ride it out. All right, Murph. Someone apparently got this tattoo of Tyrese Haliburton doing his choke sign against the Knicks. You have to get a sports-related tattoo, Murph. What are you getting?
My answer changed Friday. I now get Coach Wiggins and me on the sideline during a timeout. And Coach Wiggins has that dart, and he's just, he's having a heater during a timeout as we're talking strategy in the fourth quarter.
Well, why would you get you in there?
Well, yeah, you're right. I just need him.
Get the coach.
Yeah, you're right.
Because you're you.
Yeah, I don't need to be self-involved. I don't need like my tattoo of myself. Yeah, I just need him because there's so much going on in that picture. We've got those NFL trucker style hats, with the mesh in the back. Then anybody's
windbreaker.
Yep, and it's made of nylon, and the sleeves are a little bit cut off. But then even though you're wearing a windbreaker, he's got those the polyester shorts that had that big double snap button in the front.
And the belt loops are like this.
Yeah, exactly right.
You could wear like a WWE belt.
And then he's got the tube socks with the big stripes pulled up to the kneecaps.
Yep.
To the kneecaps, and then the cleats are spot built.
Yeah.
Look at the cleats.
The flap. Yeah, why does he need the cleats?
By the way, nicknamed by a couple of people online, Quadzilla.
He's got some good quads there.
Yeah, he got some big legs there. But yeah, just the whole kit, but from hat to jacket to shorts to tube socks to spot builts. Everything about it says early 80s, but then the thing that takes it to the next level, is the dart, and Coach Wiggins headed for Flavor Country.
Is he still with us?
No.
Oh, rest in peace.
Yeah. Hope it wasn't lung cancer.
What did he smoke? What was his brand?
I don't remember that. I don't have, and this sounds crazy now. Like, I had forgotten that he smoked. I had to even think about it, and I talked to a couple of teammates. It was just so common.
Yeah, right. It was like you didn't notice it. When
you probably noticed more when somebody wasn't smoking.
Yes, I mean, back then my parents smoked. They would later go cold turkey. But we had a student smoking lounge. We had a student smoking tree in the parking lot.
We had a smoking section on at our school. It was outside, but it was under an awning, and it had ashtrays and benches provided. It was a comfortable space. But they had my most vivid memory of a parent smoking, though, was Ron Morey, my Boy Scout troop leader, the Scoutmaster, smoked just all the time. And if you had a tick on your arm, he'd be like, "Come here." And he'd take a big drag of the cigarette, get that cherry burning real bright. Then he would touch it to the tick. The tick would
burn it right
out of
off
your skin, and he'd flick it off and go right back to his smoke.
Right back to Flavor Country. All right, we're going to get some Eagle Scout badges today.
He burned the tick off with his cigarette.
That's so great.
And the other parents are like, "Oh yeah, good. That's smart, Ron. Good thinking."
I can remember one of the most uncomfortable times of my life. I was going around with the general manager and the general sales manager at the new TV station where I was working. They were taking me to lunch, and I'm in the back seat, and the windows are up, and they got the big Cadillac, and they're both chain smoking. And remember how, like, in a small space like that, all the smoke would circulate, and I'm back there, and my eyes hurt, and my eyes are watering, and I'm uncomfortable, but I'm in that position of feeling like I can't say anything, and I don't even feel comfortable cracking the window, but this is awful. And it was like a 20-minute trip, but it felt like 2 hours just us back there. I wasn't a good conversationalist because I was just thinking, please, but they'd finish one, just go right to the next one, light one with the next.
Do that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I remember when Brian Cooney was just like, finally, he was just like, "You know what? I am done with this."
Yeah.
Smoking is banned at Cooney's Tavern from here forward. And he was just basically, he had the attitude, was like, "I don't care if I lose every customer I have."
I think he had a pregnant bartender at the time.
Now I'm tired of living in this, and he just banned it, and he ended up being way ahead of the curve. But he would tell you right out front, "I don't care. I am banning this. I'm sick of it." And he just got rid of it. And now you look back and you're like, how in the world did we live with it? How did you go to a bar that was just a cloud of smoke and you didn't smoke it? Even if you did smoke, it wasn't pleasant.
Cooney got more business, not less business.
They did.
Yeah. So he was ahead of his time. All right. Thank you. That's Throwdowns. Appreciate it, Andy. Send your Grimaldi's fan photos. More giveaway each Friday. $50 gift card to Grimaldi's Coal Brick Oven Pizzeria in West Des Moines. I see Charlie there. It's AD and Judy's son. You can go to either Grimaldi's. You can go to West Des Moines, or you can go to Prairie Trail. You can go to District at Prairie Trail in Ankeny.
Yeah, we went to Hamilton on Saturday. Charlie and I did. It was one of the things he wanted for his birthday coming up. And I just wanted to use this as a reminder as the summer gets here and we kind of move out of high school sports and Little League starts to wind down. Hey, you could be a fan of a lot of different things. So it doesn't just have to be a sports photo that you send to Murph_Andy at Iowa everywhere to enter to win. Grimaldi's could be just about anything.
AD, how old will Charlie be at his next birthday?
He'll turn 10.
Okay, so he's ending up his 9th year here. How is Hamilton for someone his age?
So
he seems a little young.
He is, and there were certainly things that went over his head. There's some sex stuff that kind of hopefully went over his head. But for the most part, he really liked it. The cool thing was he's been inundated with the music from my wife and I for a long time. We've been fans of Hamilton for 10 years, so he kind of knew what to expect. Mm-hmm. We've been watching some YouTube videos about it to kind of get him ready for it also. The coolest part, though, Hamilton does a lottery for every show. So they don't sell the first like 2 rows of seats, which aren't the best seats in the theater. You really want to be probably like 20 rows up to kind of see the whole thing. But they give away these seats. They're $10 a piece if you win the lottery. And so we were sitting second row, dead center. And so the coolest thing about that is you can see all of the things happening. You see the extras bringing props onto and off of the stage. You're right there where the music is in the pit, and you see the conductor doing his thing, and you really kind of see the people up close and understand that, hey, all this music that's happening is being done here live. So I think that part of it too, just the kind of in-your-face nature of the way we got to experience it was really cool.
It's kind of like sitting on the boards at a hockey game. It's just, or,
Absolutely.
Sitting on the rail at a Barnstormers game. It's just better. That's a cool experience. Time now for the Andrew Downs audio drop of the day. We call it the AD Squared.
Yeah, it's powered by Game Day Men's Health. I go there every Thursday to the Ankeny location to get my testosterone boost. I know Chris Williams goes there as well. Brent Bloom, I see him. Chad Leistica goes to the one in West Des Moines on University. Scott Docterman goes to the North Liberty location. You can find a Game Day near you wherever you are. We mentioned a little earlier, Carlos Alcaraz won an all-time French Open yesterday. My favorite thing that I saw from the whole event was him, after winning, celebrating with the ball boys and ball girls.
That's cool. You know how thrilled those kids are?
That's cool.
This is really fortunate for men's tennis. He's got it. Like, he plays to the crowd. There were times I felt bad for Sinner because the entire crowd wasn't against Sinner. They were just all for Alcaraz. And he just felt, at times he looked like the loneliest guy in the world sitting there. As you know, everybody in that stadium is rooting for the other guy, and you're just trying to hang on and win a Grand Slam.
And he didn't.
And he didn't. He blew it. I mean, credit to Alcaraz, but 3 championship points and down 2 sets to none. Quickie poll results are presented by WCI Pools and Spas in Ames and Urbandale.
Which actual fireworks name do you like the most? 46% going with Neighbor's Nightmare. 29% would pick D's Nuts. 17% say Nice Rack. And 10%
the big seller
want to ride with Weed the People. Yeah, Wade Peterson tells us that was the big seller this week. And Weed the People, that's a big, as Wade would call it, a cake. Great big box. Those things go off for quite a while.
What's something like that cost? Like, what's a box of Weed the People approximately? Would you guess?
I honestly don't know.
Okay,
I'm not sure.
Right.
I don't know. I will. I'll put the Moore team on it. We'll have some answers for you.
I'm sure you will. Thank you for being part of Murph and Andy here on a Monday. We appreciate it.
And before we go, I did just hit the button to
the
winner.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry. We got to have a winner. Sorry. Yes, big moment.
Big Papa.
Big Papa,
Big Papa
the winner.
is our winner. We had like 30 entries, so we appreciate everybody for joining in on the fun. Big Papa, reach out to me via email or on social media. We'll find a way to get this to you.
Yeah, all right.
Congratulations, Big
Wade,
Papa.
make way for Big Papa down at the Fireworks Farm.
Get ready. I've met Big Papa. He's going to leave with more than $100. I'm almost sure of it. That's great. And don't forget, you can email Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com for a shot at the premiere, the Iowa premiere in IMAX of F1 starring Brad Pitt. Maybe I should call it Formula One. F1 sounds like I'm saying something else. Please like and subscribe. Invite your friends to the party here at Iowa Everywhere. We're back Wednesday. We hope you are too.
Murph and Andy was brought to you by Ramsey Subaru on Hickman Road in Urbandale.